Hey basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to be breaking down Trae Young's shooting form. Now, if you would like to have your form broken down and have me help you become a better shooter, go check out the link in the description below. But let's get down to the clipboard and let's check out Trae Young's shooting form. Okay, so really quickly, once he catches that ball and he steps into his shot, the first thing I always want to look at is his body in line and is his body in a zigzag? So first off, his head with his knees, with his toes are all in line, which means that he is in a pretty good zigzag. Next, he is looking at the rim the whole time when he's shooting the ball. His shoulders are pretty well square. There may be only a couple of inches away from each other. When I mean being a couple of inches away as in line, his body is pretty well squared towards the rim. If you're looking at his chest, it's pretty well facing the rim, and this is going to be a straight shot. Next, what's he do with the ball and what makes his shot so quick? Next, well, let's see. When he steps into his shooting form and he brings that ball up, it's a very short distance to travel. Some players will start with the ball down here and they'll travel up to here and they'll shoot. Trae Young is able to shoot the ball quick because he starts here and he brings the ball here. That is a much shorter distance to go between, and because of that short distance, that's why his shot is actually really quick. When we fast forward just a bit, he would actually be probably a bit quicker if this arm was just about straight up. However, the reason why this is so effective for Trae Young is because he's able to get extra distance on that ball for not having it so high. A lot of players will start with the ball higher and have a lower stance, meaning that they need to jump higher. That slingshot type motion, he's able to get more distance. Now, another thing, in a different clip that we're going to look at, his elbow is actually underneath that ball. Now, as we can see here, his elbow's not underneath the ball. However, this arm right here is still straight towards the basket, which if you're looking at the body from the front or the back, that elbow is still underneath the ball, even though that ball is just pushed a bit back. Now when he releases that ball, so this is only a two-motion shot, which is great, and third would be the flick. This video is kind of hard to see because the clip, you don't get to see if it's off of the middle finger. This is a YouTube video, so it's kind of hard to get 60 frames per second or more when it comes to YouTube videos. However, if you're recording with your iPhone, you will get 60 frames per second. You'll be able to see that a bit easier, but the shot was straight. It went in, so most likely it went off his middle finger. We also see that his guide hand releases from the ball early. He doesn't push it with his guide hand. A lot of players have that idea where they want to push with the guide hand because they want to get more strength or power behind the ball. That's just not the case. The guide hand, releasing it late, will affect your shot considerably. So as we can see here, his elbow is right underneath that ball. It's still a bit of a different angle than what I would usually like to see. However, that elbow is underneath that ball, and as we can see, that guide hand is off the ball as well. His eyes also are continually on the rim. We will also see with follow through that in most cases he holds it for a second, and that's what you would want to see with a great shot. Let's look at it one more time. He releases just a bit late, but he still gets it in. He is a really great three-point shooter. Now, something to note down for yourself with Trae Young is with Trae Young, the Atlanta Hawks, which is the team that he plays for, there's rumors, apparently it's true, that they put a 4-point line in on their practice courts. Now, this doesn't surprise me because, as you may know, as a player, once you learn how to shoot a 3-point shot pretty well at a high percentage, what you really want to do is start trying to extend your range. So start going a foot farther from the three-point line, then go 2 feet farther, and keep on working with the same form, but getting more legs. Maybe jumping a bit higher, maybe instead of having the arm so far back, having it a little bit more forward so you can have more forward momentum on your shot. Things like this. But your main focus is wanting to jump higher when you're shooting from farther away. You really don't want to change your actual form. Now, by practicing farther and farther away, if it's on your own time or with your team time, then what you really want to do is keep on focusing on farther away shots, because what you're going to find is the farther away you shoot, then the easier those closer shots are. So for example, I don't really take a lot of NBA range three-point shots. When I was on the cruise back in January, they only had an NBA range three-point line. And when it wasn't windy, I was able to hit those shots. It took me a couple of minutes to get used to that range again. But it's been a while. And I shot every single day. I was playing like 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day on that cruise or more. And by the time I got back to the YMCA, that regular three-point line felt like a close mid-range shot. I'm serious. So by going out and practicing distance shots, when you start getting into game and shooting those actual three-point shots, that's going to seem so much more easier, so that now you're going to be a ton better when it gets to games and three-point shooting. I hope breaking down Trae Young's shooting form helps you become a better shooter, but also I hope that basically, in general, you become a great three-point shooter. That is essentially the future at this point of the NBA and of basketball, so I hope that I can help you. If I have, hit that like button, subscribe, and if you would like me to break down your shooting form, go check out the link below.